The significance of the construction industry in the attainment of a nation's quest for development and self-reliance cannot be overemphasized. The industry serves valuable functions in the society that vary according to social need. This is evident in the fact that every individual, business, or services of diverse kinds must have a shelter and a location in the environment. Sadly, the housing stock that does exist in Nigeria is expensive when compared to local household income. How can the high cost of housing construction be addressed in Nigeria? This is Housing Development, where we discuss housing affordability and accessibility. As always, I am your housing diva, Fleur Anne. The news making rounds is up next. I'll be back in a moment.
Industry practitioners are apprehensive that the new interest rate introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, would impact property prices, cost of investment, and the entire construction value chain. CBN's Monetary Policy Committee last week voted to increase the benchmark interest rate by 50 basis points to 18%. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele disclosed that the slight increase is to mitigate the effect of inflation and manage other economic issues. Nigeria's inflation rate rose for the second consecutive month in February to 21.91% from 21.82% in the previous month, according to the latest inflation report. The NPR has been on the rise since April 2022, when it was 11.50%. The rate impacts lending and inflation rates and consequently affects upward movement of prices of goods and services. Chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Building NIOB Federal Capital Territory Chapter, Omale Peter Ame, has said its 2023 conference and annual general meeting will feature discussions on topical issues bedeviling the building construction industry. Ame, who stated this at a pre-AGM press conference in Abuja, said the major concern will dwell on how to correctly use concrete in building structures. He called on built environment professionals, building enthusiasts, and lovers of safe homes to rise up to the challenge of contributing their ideological quota to the development of effective policies that will address legacy challenges of the industry, especially building collapse. Management of the Pan-African cement manufacturer Dangote Cement PLC has revealed that once the shareholders at the AGM, slated for April 13, 2023, approved the proposal, the shareholders whose names are registered in the company's register of members at the close of business on 30th March 2023 will be immediately paid the sum of about 340 billion naira a day after the meeting. In the notice of AGM published in newspapers and signed by Dangote Cement Acting Company Secretary Edward Imwedeme, the company revealed that the list of unclaimed dividends is available on the company's website at www.dangotecement.com and that shareholders with unclaimed share certificates or unclaimed dividends should address their claims to the registrars, Coronation Registrars Limited. The company also stated that it is giving notice to all shareholders to open bank accounts, stockbroking accounts, and CSCS accounts for receiving dividend payments electronically, and also that pursuant to the provision of Section 187 of CAMA 2020, the Treasury shares are not entitled to dividends and voting rights. To strengthen skills, experts in engineering profession have urged practicing women engineers to invest in training and retrain themselves for relevance in the ever-changing engineering world. President of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, APWEN, Dr. Elizabeth Jumoke Eteribo, led the charge at a capacity building workshop under She Engineer 30% Club, organized by the Association for Practicing Engineers. The workshop was sponsored by Royal Academy of Engineering, Britain. She explained that engineering offers diverse opportunities to explore and express personal ability, adding that by building skills, practitioners are showing the way to the next generation of women and men that gender should not be an excuse when it comes to contributing to local and national development.
To read the full details of the news, do well to visit www.africanhousingnews.com. Coming up next is Voices on the Street. What are Nigerians saying about being defrauded in real estate transaction and what processes are involved in such transaction? Let's find out.
For me, I will blame government, because a place that not supposed to develop, you will be set task force, be monitoring those places. Anytime you see structure, you let the people know that this place not supposed to be doing anything in that place. But they will allow people, they will sell it, they will advertise sometimes on radio. People may fall on victim. At the end of the day, government will go there and say, it's an illegal structure.
When you meet the government, when you hold the government, the government stop giving approval to developers. If you meet the government, without the government, the developer will not go to estate development. So the government is the main people, is the main behind this. When you stop them, the developer will not go into. They will not go to start developing without giving approval.
They have to be held, responsible for their action, because it's a deceit, it's fraudulent. You know that something is not real, and you go ahead to do it in order to implicate others. It is criminal. So they have to be held responsible for their action.
The management of the Federal Capital Territory Development Authority, FCDA, this is a high time for them to rise up to this occasion, to put all necessary measures on ground to stop all these fraudulent persons from penetrating even inside the FCDA to secure such fraudulent documents.
Voices on the Street that in real estate transactions, due diligence is a vital step in home buying experience. Due diligence in real estate transactions refers to reasonable measures which every individual should adopt before executing an agreement in relation to real estate and immovable property. By conducting due diligence, you assess the risks associated with the property you're planning to purchase. You review the documents and ensure that there are no legal encumbrances on the property. It basically means do your homework before actually making the purchase. Let's listen to Umar Shuaib, the coordinator, Abuja Metropolitan Management Council, on the processes involved in acquiring building plan approval.
That is a very clear-cut procedure and it's very simple. FCDA, or Abuja Municipal Management Council, because development control is now under the Abuja Municipal Management Council, there is a manual. This manual specified the type of structure that you are going to build in low density, medium density and high density residential areas, in commercial areas, in industrial areas, in residential areas. All of them have their specifications in that manual. First of all, when you are located in Abuja, you get your TDP. If you have not been given certificate of occupancy, but you have paid, you have your receipt, you have all documents that you have paid. It is in the record. It's just a matter of concluding the process of the minister signing your CFO. That will take a longer time. But when you have these basic documents, you can go and apply in development control to get your building plan approval. You have a receipt of payment, you have a title deed plan, you have a allocation. The Development Control Department has its way of checking the authenticity of your document, of the title deed. So just go, get the manual. Where is your plot located? Is it a residential? If it is residential, is it in low density? Is it in medium density or high density? You have to identify that before you commence doing your plans. You cannot go and submit a plan, a high density development plan on a low density land. So first of all, get the manual and then go to inquire, where does my plot fall? Is it a low density development plot? In that case, I'm going to do a low density design. If it's high density plot located in a high density residential area, in that case, I'm going to do a high density residential design. Is it a commercial area? If it is commercial, is it in district center? Is it in neighborhood center? All of this count. You must know where my plot is located. If you know that, you have solved half a problem. The next thing is the actual requirement of that area. What are the specifications for a low density development? What is the setback? What is the percentage plot coverage? What is the volume of the development? Are you allowed to go 2 floors, 3 floors, 4 floors, or 5 floors, or 12 floors in terms of central area district? All these, you are going to be guided if you go to the remote control. Get the manual and get the people that are, they will guide you, this, and that is all. Go and do your design. And buy the specified fee for the approval. That's all. Presently, the department has made it possible for you to get your plans. If there is no any encumbrance, you can get your plan within 1 month, 2 months.
Looking for the most innovative housing construction festival? The best platform for an exhibition, an opportunity to network and increase your business reach. How to navigate the real estate and construction market trends? Then look no further, as the 17th Africa International Housing Show is here again. This year's ARHS gives you access to several innovations, including 400 plus exhibitors, 25,000 plus attendees, Africa's one-of-a-kind real estate CEOs Forum, ARHS Under 40 and Young Professional Meetup 2023, B2B Meeting, Networking App, International Conference on Alternative Funding for Housing. This year's event will witness a delegation of members of the Chartered Institute of Housing, CIOH, London, and the UK Professional Association of Certified Housing Practitioners. Be part of this historic event. Visit www.ihsabuja.com or call 0916 500,000. 17th Africa International Housing Show, the largest housing conference and exhibition in Africa.
Housing has become a defining economic issue of our times. In addition to being a fundamental need of an individual, housing is an economic engine for the low-income families, as it plays a vital role in the growth and development of the family, the community, and the country. In this report coming up, Ugochukwu Chime, former president of REDAN, speaks on the socio-economic importance of housing. Take a listen.
The immediate past president of the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, REDAN, Reverend Ugochukwu Chime, has stressed the need for the incoming administration of President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu to prioritize provision of housing as a critical component of its economic policy. While speaking exclusively with Housing Development from Enugu, Reverend Ugochukwu Chime, who is also the former president of Enugu Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, noted that housing plays a far more important role in the lives of citizens beyond provision of shelter.
The first thing that I will tell him is to understand the role of housing, not just as a shelter, but the emerging socio-economic importance of housing to the overall development of any country. Housing has an important role in every facet. Every development of man must take place in a very harmonized environment, provided shelter whether it is commercial activity, whether it is industrial activities. And the core area that I would like to have him to have a look is to look at how land administration can be seamlessly integrated with fiscal policy. Under the current constitutional setup, the issue of fiscal policy for finance is under the exclusive list, while the issue of land administration is left for the 36 land administrators. And our inability over the years to integrate seamlessly, to interface seamlessly across those areas, defining how you move from one area to the other, has been a major challenge. If you look at the last statistic for National Bureau of Statistics, one of the areas that have grown is in the area in our GDP, is in the area of construction and real estate. It has grown, and it's growing. It could have grown faster because with the increase in our population, there will have been a corresponding increase in demand for housing. And that is another avenue for government to be able to create employment opportunities diagonally and increase the socioeconomic well-being of the country. So I'll ask him to look at how can we have a seamless interface between the role that is played by the state governments and the FCT in land administration and the role that is played by the federal government in terms of the fiscal policy, the financing policy. Until we get it right, we are not going to have much progress. As you are aware, institutions like Shelter Africa do not invest in states where they're not assured of title. That's why they are not willing to invest in FCT and some other states where they are having challenge with the issue of titling and registration of interest of parties on a parcel of land. So a core area for him to look at is how to bridge this gap that has been a problem in the value chain of delivery of mortgages, housing needs, and increasing the availability of houses for our people.
Citing employment generation as a major need of the people, Reverend Chime tasked government at all levels to provide housing for the people. He stated that housing contributes directly to not only the general well-being of citizens, but also to the nation's gross domestic products.
The economic importance of housing goes beyond the shelter provision for the people and speaks to the jobs that are created on the supply side in terms of the manufacturing entities that are coming on. The duty of government in any state is to provide for the needs of the people. And a major need of the people is employment generation. And whether we have known it or not, a lot of publications have gone on what comes as by way of employment generation in the sector. That as you are building one housing unit, you are creating many direct and many indirect jobs. And housing is one of those areas that has the highest diagonal job creation potential. So when you speak about the economic importance of effect, these are issues that have been documented properly. Housing and its effects is much. It is a known fact that housing is a fundamental requirement, not just in terms of shelter provision, but in terms of this socio-economic contribution to the GDP, this contribution to the general well-being of the people, and the productivity of the citizenry. It is clear that that has to be a top burner issue for any administration, and I dare say we say so for the incoming administration.
For many low-income families, a house is more than a shelter. It gives them the opportunity to work out of the comfort of their space and change their lives for the better. Stable, affordable housing is critical to breaking the cycle of poverty. A decent home opens the door to improved health, better performance in school, greater economic opportunities, and increased community cohesion. With a new administration coming on board soon, what qualities should the next Minister for Housing possess for positive changes to be seen in the sector? Let's hear from these housing stakeholders.
I think the minister that we need, should be somebody who can hit the ground running, somebody who understands the interplay of housing and the economy, somebody who knows which buttons which levers to pull, and we've not been unfortunate, and the person doesn't have to be an architect or, and I mean, we've seen architects, so it's somebody who will not just go and be making political statements, somebody who will sit down and really work and deliver, somebody who understand partnership, somebody who understand how to JV with the private sector, because the strength is in the private sector. The real strength is in the private sector. It's just that, government has not really sat down to understand and fashion out a framework to exploiting that strength of the private sector and work together to deliver the units that we need to deliver.
I do think that we need somebody who have had an experience in the sector. You mustn't be a professional, but you must have experience in the sector. It can be an accountant, it can be a lawyer, it can be a professional from any sector. What we need is somebody who has cognate experience on what should be done. Secondly, we need a person who has a woman, a man, no matter the gender, who has strategic thinking capacity. And that is something that will enable the person to be able to piece together the issues and the challenges. Finally, we need somebody who does not have a messianic complex, who feels he understands everything. Because knowledge is of two parts. When you know something and when you don't know something, it's still knowledge. Somebody who has the capacity to be a father to all.
Welcome back. Africa International Housing Show, a blockbuster conference and exhibition, is just months away. During the 4-day event, there will be discussion on latest policies, development, and other matters that affect the real estate and construction industry, as well as the mortgage sector. Affordable housing will also be at the forefront of these conversations. Attendees will pick up plenty of new solutions and methodologies to apply to their work that will make operations more effective and cost-efficient. The 17th Africa International Housing Show is a must-attend event. Now here is a quick one from the organizers of Africa International. That is it on Housing Development Program today. Thanks for watching. If you missed any part of the program and you wish to watch it over again, you can do that via the YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa. I remain your housing diva,